Well, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. Well, you know who she is right now, right? Wendy Alexander. She's back, and she is the #1 cross-cultural consultant in and outside of Periscope. And you know what I mean by that, right? So
I'm going to claim it.
Yes, that's it. Quit claiming it. Just say it is.
Okay, it is. It is.
So welcome back to the set again.
Thank you.
We had fun having you the last time, and we talked about confidence.
Yes, confidence.
And today, what are we going to share?
Let's talk about fear.
Fear, that's right.
Ooh,
because
some things happened since then.
Oh, you did?
Well, not personally with me. Some with me, but some with some of the people. I'm also a coach, so
okay.
I actually do one-on-one coaching as well with people.
Okay.
And so that is one of the biggest things I'm dealing with people is fear.
Oh my God.
I move them forward, then fear steps in.
Oh my God. So let me understand it. Why is it so prevalent that it's not just women, men too are fearful? Of course, the way that they exhibit their fear can be in anger or something else. But why is it so prevalent? Why is fear so prevalent?
You know, I think it's because it's almost like when you get to a certain point. So if you have a goal in mind, right? For some people, when you actually reach that goal, it's like if nothing else is there, if they don't pre-plan, then they are scared because it's like, what's next? Fear steps in. So what I've noticed with people that I actually do training with is that they have to have something else in place.
Okay.
Or they actually do not celebrate their small rewards.
That's right.
They don't. So in other words, if someone has a business and they call me and they say, I'm so excited, I have my website up and I have my business name, and then I was like, yay, and they'll say, well, no. And I was like, what do you mean no, right?
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
don't know. You don't know what? And all of a sudden fear is fear. So they can't even celebrate the small success that they have because they're fearful.
Now, you know that some too, it could very well be because of their background.
True, very true.
There's some that they've been through so much now that they're just, like blah to everything.
Right, that's true.
And so even when something great happens, because they have kind of channeled themselves into just saying nothing great will ever come out of me.
Right.
So there's that subconscious that's telling them,
true.
without them even knowing, their subconscious is coming out to say, this is just another failed thing too. So you don't need to celebrate this.
Right. That's
You don't
true.
need to. There's no need to celebrate
Because they've been
this.
told that.
Exactly.
Because they've been told that.
Exactly.
That's true.
So how can we? What advice would you give to those who are fearful right now? What are there things that they could do to actually overcome it?
Oh, well, you're best at describing that. Because guess what it is?
Well, you are my guest. That's why
they
I'm
don't
just
have
letting you
their
do
passion.
it. That's right.
They don't. You know what?
That's
I'm
right.
learning more and more about that because
That's
honestly, before I met you, I used to say to people, I was like, what is wrong? What do you mean you don't have passion? But I can't help you find your passion. I was like, I'm not your passion person. Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of times I think that it starts with definitely finding your passion.
Right.
So I do appreciate you for actually teaching me that. That is very important. And also making sure that it's the same thing about your journey. Just making sure that people do not take away from your journey.
That's right.
I've had experiences in my life where it's been very fearful. From also a lot of people don't know. I share now is that I actually was a child of trauma in my past, so I had a lot of fear from trusting men. When I actually got married, my husband and I went through a little spat. It was because of my fear from my past, and so I had to get over that. But I think also you had to get help. You had to admit what you're fearful of.
That's right.
And I think that's the biggest thing is that I had to start journaling for myself.
That's good.
Yeah, so I started journaling and I started releasing more into people until that fear went away. And then as my grandmother says, I became too fearless. I started traveling all over the world, right? She was just like, baby, I made you put some of that fear back. So I think it honestly just being able to admit that you're scared and get help.
Yeah, that's true. I've often seen some women that I would counsel, and I'll ask them, what are you fearful of? And they'll tell me, I just feel it coming, but at this point I really don't know what it is, but I just feel that fear.
They feel something.
Yeah, and it's because they've been so used to things not working the way that they expect.
Right.
And so now the whole psyche has kind of directed itself to you're a failure.
Right.
You will always be a
yes.
failure. There's no need to prepare for anything.
Yes.
So just stay there because you are a failure. And so anytime that something great is happening, just like you said, and there's no plan, they're not seeing anything beyond that, they become fearful.
That's true.
And so
that's very true.
one of the antidote is being prepared.
Yes.
You know, when you're prepared for something, it really takes away the edge when you're really prepared for it.
Anxiety and fear. It takes away both.
That's right.
It really does take away.
Right.
You're right. And I think, honestly, with me, with fear, I have someone actually recently that I was working with, and she was doing such a great job. I was so proud of her, and fear struck in, and I was just like, wait a minute. I noticed, and you can always tell when they stop emailing, right? And you want to reach out, and you're trying to connect.
It's like guilt now, guilt and everything, so they withdraw.
And then I was like, what's wrong? What's going on? You're doing great. No, I'm not. And then here comes the tears, and then I had to turn to a therapist on the spot right then because I'm like, no, I'm your cheerleader. I believe in you. And most of the time, it's because of fear. Someone said something, or either they're going back into their past.
That's right.
And then people will say, you know what? Remember what I told you? You can never be anything. You can never be nothing. So I find myself not only being a business coach, but also a life coach. And that's not something I signed up for, but it comes with the territory. Because when you are genuine about helping someone, and also I've been in that place of fear. I know what it's like to be fearful. And so when I'm working with women or men, that's one thing I always say is that I've been there before. I'm just like you. I'm human.
Exactly.
I still have fear, till this day. But I also have a process in place. When I do feel fearful, I definitely pray.
That's a good one.
I pray.
That's a very good one that some people actually stay away from because they are so traumatized in the past, and they feel like, where was God? Where was God when all of this was happening?
Exactly.
What did He do? And because of that, I'm not going to pray if I don't get the answer
right then
for why He allowed all of this to happen.
Yes. Exactly. But I think you also, like I said, I think journaling helps. That really helped me, and it helps a lot of people that I work with. And so when I find that they're in a place of fear, that they can't move forward, and I'll say, is it fear? And then they'll just sit there and I say, is it fear? And I say, if you don't want to tell me, is it fear? Write it down. And then say, what is the fear? Write exactly what it is. You don't have to tell anybody else. Just write it down somewhere and start releasing it. Because when you have it inside, it builds up, and it continues, and you can never move forward with fear.
That's right. Well, I had an experience in one of my classes too, because as you know, I teach online too, and one of the courses that I teach is how to write your passion plan.
Yes.
So one Sunday we all met, and there was this young lady there, and she was quiet. She was just quiet, quiet. Not, do you want to say anything? Oh no, nothing. Everything is all fine, whatever. And the following Sunday, she came to us and she was saying she needed something to confess. And we said, well, what is it? She said, well, that Sunday she was saying in her heart that what was she to be saying all of this stuff? I don't want to go back and study anything on passion. I went back to passion. It's like, this is too much of an assignment. Why do I have to do all these things? Right. She said, well, she finally decided, you know what? After forcing for minutes, then she said, you know what? I'm going to settle down and just read one lesson. She read the lesson, and she said the tears just kept coming. Wow. And for the first time, she realized that it wasn't money. It wasn't not having enough money. It wasn't even the situations in her home that she thought was the problem was not even the problem. She said she finally figured out that it was fear that stopped her from actually accomplishing everything that she was supposed to accomplish. And she said she never felt that before, because she's always said it's because she's going through this, or it's because she's taking care of her grandmother, or because she's always had all those things around her that she never had the time to really sit down and ask deep questions that a passion plan asks.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of times it's very, very important for us to really sit down. And I think that's what the problem is, because we really don't want to sit down because we are afraid of what will come out.
Yes.
We are afraid of the revelation.
That's true.
And when we're not ready for the revelation, we'll be hopping and running all over town, exhausting ourselves because we don't want to settle down, right?
That's true.
And really, really owning on what is this that is causing this fear?
What is the reason for it? And you know, I think that definitely the passion plan will do that. It will take you to another journey.
Yes,
it really will. It really will. And I think even for a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I found my passion.
That's right.
I know what I'm doing." But guess what?
That's right.
You take it, you'll find some things
That's
in
right.
there that you didn't discover before.
That's
so
right.
I think that's actually
That's
a very
right.
useful tool for anybody at any level or stage that you actually are in. And for me, as far as fear, I guess I could also talk about when I went to Dubai.
Oh, gosh.
Now, that's fear because I actually just jumped on a plane and I didn't know where I was going.
Oh, my
All
God.
I had was a text message, and this is the truth.
Oh,
saying,
my God.
This is where you're going to go. There's no contract.
Oh, my God.
Right? There's no contract. Remember the culture. So there's no contract, and I just get on the plane. All I knew is I had a hotel, and I get there, and the first thing that happened was I jumped in the cab with a man.
Oh, my God. And you don't do that.
He was a cat, but right, I missed that part of the culture, right? So and then they said, "Get out, you can't. There's women cab drivers." I was like, "What are you talking about?" So actually, so I ended up, I was in the wrong cab.
What did the man do?
He just looked? He fell out laughing. He thought it was so funny. So he was just like, "Look for you have to go with the women." So I went with the women, but yes.
But wait a minute, go back to that though. So the women take different cabs. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is.
That is so funny.
Yes, so they have women drivers and they have men drivers. So, but if I would have been with my husband, we would definitely been with the man. But they do, and so I didn't realize that. And then I was like, well, let me start translating because I couldn't find any. Well, then my phone didn't work. So this is the first time. This was like 12 years ago when I went. So no, I was not prepared. So fear set in right there because I was just like, okay, how am I going to communicate where I'm supposed to be going? I have no phone. I can't speak Arabic. What is going to happen here? So I prayed. I did. I had to say a prayer. But the lady knew I was praying. She didn't understand anything else I was saying, but she knew I was praying.
Wow.
And she stopped. And she said, "Don't worry." And then she got somebody on the phone, and then we started communicating. And so I finally got to where I was going. I was supposed to meet my husband there, but guess what? It started snowing in Afghanistan.
Oh, are you serious?
So I got stuck there, first time ever, by myself for like 2 days.
Oh my God.
So I went there. So I had all kind of fear, but then I got to the hotel and they are just wonderful. So all of a sudden I got roses sent to my room.
Wow.
I got chocolate.
Are you
I had
serious?
dinner. Yes,
Oh
they said,
my God.
like, Mr. Alexander will be in soon. So I thought my husband was doing, it was the hotel staff.
Oh,
yes,
my
they said
God.
they was like, don't be scared. We'll take care of you.
Oh,
but
wow.
they started knocking on my door. My husband said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Well, I'm just fine."
Oh my
like
God.
I'm just fine. That
Oh
fear
my
went away
God.
real
Oh my
quick.
God.
Real
Well,
quick.
you know what? For those of you out there, if you are fearful, this is just an example of what we're just sharing with you right now. That because fear is just, what do they call it? Evidence of something. What was that? What's that? Fear. There are times they usually say that it's evidence that fear is just something.
Number one is low self-esteem,
Exactly.
not knowing your worth.
Exactly.
And then also that people have told you that you can't do what you want to do and you don't believe in yourself.
Exactly.
That's what fear is.
So it's good to believe in yourself. You've heard from Miss Wendy right here. You know, even with her going to Dubai, that she never even know, Afghanistan, she didn't even know anything about it. But there is also something called unhealthy fear, which is, for example, when you're a public speaker and you need to walk up the podium, you need to have that element of fear, that edge, that little edge that pushes you on that stage and allows you to just draw out of your greatness. So thank you all so much for being a part of us right now. It's been a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you so much, Ms. Wendy, for being here. And of course, until next time, please stay blessed, be inspired, be motivated, be of sentimental value, be the hero in your own success, rescue and recovery. And remember this, that you are the hero in your own life story. So write it brilliantly. It's bye for now.